Hey there, Havard here. I recently had a pretty interesting set with OmniDeag at Climax of Night. One interaction has been sitting with me for the better part of a week while I've been waiting to hop on a setup and test it out. Let's take a look. As I'm in the midst of a comeback, Omni begins to take initiative again. With a few shields, I end up winning the cycle, and I immediately cash it out on a CS while I'm panicking. Omni sits here and waits for my B Tatsu, which is huge for him. Somewhere when I'd fired off this Tatsu, in my head I had assumed Omni would not be shielding. I don't remember if I'd grid broken him earlier or something, but I just didn't think he'd shield, despite being in transfer state and unable to bait a green shield once I'd committed. When OmniDeag shields this Tatsu correctly, there are basically only two normal reactions for an Akatsuki player to take here. I end up doing neither in the real set, but that's because I was a bit sloppy and hadn't considered that Omni would shield. Let's take a look at those options. Option 1. Cancel into EX Fireball off the ground on the last hit while I'm still airborne. Notably, this is gapless even with the B Tatsu getting shielded. Option 2. EX cancel into 236C off the last hit while grounded. This is considerably more plus than option 1, but you'll see that it leaves a gap. Oh, let me get it right. See? Like that. Now let's take a look at what actually happened in the set. As you can see, I did neither. Omni's situational awareness is on point here, and he cancels into 421C as Eltnum, which punishes my no cancel, and, as you can see earlier, would have gone through option 2, grounded fireballs for a counter hit. This is a common counterplay available to all characters with an invincible move that hits on or before frame 7. But I want to talk about some options Akatsuki has against this, and some options I thought Akatsuki might have. First, option 1 from before, the airborne EX fireballs. It is gapless, and it does leave me plus. Let's go back to that scenario. Oh, I did the wrong one. Now when I do this, I am plus, but I'm not as plus as I'd like. I could have spent the meter to keep my turn, and I definitely would have been safe and alive. So I probably should have done this. I mean, what can you ask for other than to be plus and alive? If I'd recognized the shield earlier, or just anticipated that Omni was playing as on point as he obviously was, I would have done this. But I had another idea immediately afterwards when I watched the set. Akatsuki's new move in Under Night 2 is an EX parry, which I think is an extremely interesting idea here. In the set, I didn't really attempt it. I was kicking myself for it, kind of all weekend. What if I didn't put EX parry during the Super Flash for Eltnum 421C? Now let's take a look at that. You can't see here, the inputs aren't on, and I don't think I can turn them on. But I'm going to try that one more time. I'm mashing it. It doesn't come out. Akatsuki has a window during which he can cancel his Tatsu into EX moves, and it's ended by the time I see Eltnum Super Flash. I can't react and choose to follow up. So I can't beat the 421C after knowing it's coming. But because he shielded correctly and I didn't do fireballs, any 7-frame move would have gotten me here, not just a super. So what if I had another option? What if I preemptively did EX parry, and I tried it before I even knew if he was going to punish? EX parry consumes meter and transitions Akatsuki into the stance of the parry immediately, but he doesn't actually do a super flash until it gets triggered. This means that you need either an inhuman reaction time to stop yourself from punishing the shielded Tatsu here, or a hard read that your opponent is willing to blow 100 meter here on their read. Let's take a look at what that is. Oh, let me get it this time. We'll try it on this next one. Hopefully I get it. Like that. And Akatsuki has a load of routes here that'll kill. So, what I want to recap here. Akatsuki has a lot of options. But if you shielded the Tatsu and know your DP can kill, the risk reward is hugely in your favor as the defender. I just wanted to fact check myself before I thanked everyone and called it a day. When Akatsuki does the air EX fireballs, he's +6, and it's relatively easy to shield and make +3, but he's at a spacing where it's pretty hard for him to actually do much with those plus frames other than immediately press buttons in a non-threatening way. There's no risk of throw if he presses them from right where he lands. So again, that whole situation is pretty much in your favor the whole time. And finally, before I close it out here, I just wanted to say thank you to Sparis for getting all of the replays. This is an actual Climax of Night replay file from the tournament set that we played, being run on my PC despite the fact that the games were being played on consoles. And thank you to OmniDeag for the set. I mean, that guy's really good at the game, and I think we had a really interesting and fun set. And when the shaky cam finally gets uploaded, I really think it's one of the off-camera matches you should be watching. But it's Climax, so you kind of should be watching all of them. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something. Have a good night.